Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election that was held on February 25, 2023, and the results controversially announced on March 1st, 2023. And that controversial result was challenged as Presidential Election Petition Court, which gave its ruling on September 6th, 2023. And the major petitioners not satisfied with the outcome of that September 6th verdict headed to the Supreme Court to prove their cases that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ought not to be the president of the country. Now, one of the major contenders in the race, Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, headed to Chicago to bring proof that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted forged Chicago State University results or certificate, which he submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission. And on Tuesday, officials of the Chicago State University swore a deposition based on the academic records of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which they made available to Atiku Abubakar and his lawyers. And following that deposition, it is now official, as confirmed by the lawyers of Peter Obi, by the lawyers of Atiku Abubakar, and cited by several authorities in Nigeria here, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu allegedly presented a forged degree certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission when he filed his paperwork to lead Nigeria in June 2022. And this is based on the testimony of the Chicago State University, which he claimed had given him the certificate he submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission. And this, by itself, is the smoking gun that Atiku Abubakar had been looking for, a confirmation that the certificate that was presented to the Independent National Electoral Commission by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was forged. And this confirmation, according to the lawyers of Atiku Abubakar, is based on the deposition by the registrar of Chicago State University. There have been back and forth on whether this is so, but this is the smoking gun that Atiku Abubakar was looking for, and he has gotten it because the Chicago State University registrar, in a deposition, made it clear that they were not the one that issued the certificate that was given to the Independent National Electoral Commission. Now, this official repudiation of Tinubu's certificate, which is the only academic qualification he presented to the electoral office, came at a deposition of the school officials on Tuesday in Chicago. According to People's Gazette that has cited this deposition, it was cited based on the expanded transcript of the session which the parties had in Chicago. So there are some people who are not mentioning this particular aspect, but this is the most important of all the issues at stake. Because, like I keep saying, Atiku Abubakar did not go to court in Chicago to find out whether Tinubu is a male or female. That's not particularly the main issue. The main issue that took him to Chicago, to America, was to find out whether the certificate that was issued, that was submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission, came from Chicago State University. And the Chicago State University, the deposition by the registrar, said it did not come from them. So if it did not come from them, it means it didn't come from them. And if it doesn't come from them, go and check the classical definition of forged document in Agi versus PDP. You now know what that means. It is an issue that we're going to look at by the end of this particular video. So they say it didn't come from them. The man swore an affidavit officially saying it didn't come from them. The man also swore an affidavit to say that Tinubu passed out from their school. He attended and that he passed out from their school. But in the case of the certificate that was submitted to INEC, they say it didn't come from them. And Tinubu did not even apply for the replacement of his lost certificate. He swore an affidavit true in that deposition that he never even applied. So those who are saying that what he submitted was emanated from the university, let them show the application that he filled, because the university in the deposition said that he didn't even apply for his certificate, for him to be reissued another certificate if he had lost his first certificate. Because there is now back and forth about what happened to his original certificate. Remember, if you go and check the newspaper headline when the Independent National Electoral Commission published data of presidential candidates, one of the trending stories at that time was that Tinubu did not fill primary and secondary school results. And the story then was that the military carted away his academic records. But strangely, they didn't cut away his degree certificate from Chicago State University. Because when he couldn't provide any of the primary, secondary, he was able to provide the certificate purportedly from Chicago State University. But the Chicago State University at the deposition said they did not issue him that certificate and that he didn't even apply for a replacement of the certificate. So they didn't know where he got the certificate that was submitted to INEC. And if you had been following the proceedings throughout that process at Chicago, at the district court in Illinois, presided over by Judge Gilbert, you will see several places. Chicago State University lawyer Michael Hayes said that Tinubu passed out from their university, he was admitted, but they cannot authenticate the certificate that he submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission. They can't authenticate it. And at the deposition on Tuesday, they confirmed that same position by the deposition presented Right now, what we are seeing is media propaganda, some people trying to model over it. But the truth of the matter is that even those who are trying to model the water, they are not very specific to say that what was submitted to INEC was not forged. They are only telling us that, telling Nigerians that the certificate that the school acknowledged that he was their student. And they went on with the claim that his certificate was verified. It was not verified. The only thing what was verified was that he was a student of that university, that he passed out, he was admitted, was admitted in 1977 and he passed out in 1979. That has become established. But as per the certificate lying at INEC record that Atiku is talking about, that took Atiku to Chicago, they know nothing about it. So that is the most important thing that came out from Atiku Abubakar's journey to America. While the camp of the APC and the Tinubu legal team are given the impression that he achieved nothing. He did indeed achieve something. And those who are thinking that he didn't achieve anything should ask themselves simple question. Why did Tinubu and his legal team, why did they do everything, literally, under the sun, to stop Atiku from getting access to these documents? If there is no smoking gun, they were scared of. Why did Tinubu, while presenting his plea against the order of Judge Gilbert that the Chicago State University should release the academic records of Tinubu to Atiku Abubakar, why did they object to it at Judge Nancy Maldonado's court? And they were pleading that if they release, they were telling Judge Maldonado that if the results are released to Atiku Abubakar, that it will cause Tinubu severe and irreparable harm. So all of a sudden, what was released could not cause severe and irreparable harm. Is that what they are telling the discernible Nigerians and the discernible members of the international community? That they lied when they claimed that what will be released will cause severe and irreparable harm. So that's the question any discernible member of the public should ask himself. Because right now they are trying to play down the significance of what Atiku achieved, saying he amounted to nothing. Really? If he amounted to nothing, why does it mean you lied to Justice Nancy Maldonado that if it is released, it will cause severe and irreparable harm to Bola Ahmed Tinubu? You mean that it was a lie? And why did, even when Tinubu considered that the certificate could be given to Atiku Abubakar, put a condition that gender and other academic data should not be made available to Atiku Abubakar? Why did they have to go to that length? What about the report that even at the last minute, they wanted to still block Atiku Abubakar from having access to these academic records, even when Nancy Maldonado has said that it is final, that those documents need to be released to Atiku Abubakar, and that Tinubu should not come back to her court to come and plea for anything to do with stoppage of that order, but that he can go to another court to seek redress. So why did they go to that length if there is nothing that is significant that will be released by Chicago State University? So what happened was that by the denial of the Chicago State University of knowing anything about the certificate that was deposited or submitted to INEC, it opened up the possibility of perjury, penalty of perjury against the president, and so many other things that has to do with the issue of forgery, which we will look at before the end of this video. Now, the registrar of the Chicago State University, Caleb Westberg, this is what he said. He stated. He said that the registrar at the Chicago State University, Caleb Warburg, said that the certificate that was dated June 22, 1979, and tendered to the Independent National Electoral Commission in June 17, 2022, was not issued by the school, and its administrators could therefore not be able to authenticate its source. Now, this particular statement by the registrar, Caleb Westberg, that the certificate, Chicago State University certificate, submitted to INEC, dated June 22, 1979, and tendered to INEC on June 17, 2022, was not issued by the school and its administrators. That's what they swore in the deposition. As a result of that, they cannot authenticate it. So what else are you looking for? To know that the school said they had no hand in it. Now this Mr. Westberg, the Chicago State University registrar since November 2020, also said during the deposition that lasted about 5.5 hours, according to a report that was monitored by People's Gazette, also showed that Tinubu did not apply for a replacement certificate, nor was he ever issued one. You get that very clearly, that Tinubu did not apply. In the deposition, they say he did not apply for a replacement certificate, nor was he ever issued one. He didn't apply and he didn't get one. So for you to get a replacement, you must apply. Remember that Professor Farouk Berogi, who is a Nigerian professor based in the United States, he has also done his own independent verification on this matter. And he concluded that, I was wondering, why is it that Tinubu did not go to ask for a replacement certificate? That from his own research, it cost only $26. That's what you need to pay to get a replacement certificate. And Parogi was talking about that, sort of defending Tinubu by saying that maybe Tinubu, to beat the deadline, allegedly produced that false document to INEC. But it's an analysis that I don't want to agree with Parogi, in the sense that Tinubu had told us that the presidency of Nigeria had been his childhood dream. Since it was his childhood dream, and Buhari was in power from 2015, it means that he was aware that he's going to contest for president in 2023. So what stopped him from applying for this and keep it handy? Why must he wait until the last minute of INEC, purportedly, to now, as Boregi alleges, to now go and get the certificate for wherever to present? So it doesn't really add up for somebody who said that being the president of Nigeria was his childhood ambition. He ought to have known and keep all these things, all this record intact. And there are those who are now claiming that the Chicago State University don't give replacement certificates. It's not true. Berogi has done independent research on it, and he said it costs $26 deposition and filling the form online to get it. So this deposition, which denied the certificate that was with INEC, which denied that the university ever issued him replacement certificate, was the smoking gun that Atiku was looking for. And what it means that it served, in fact, it was it capped a successful outcome for Atiku Abubakar's legal team, who had approached the United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois in Chicago to ascertain, because that is the most important thing, to ascertain the authenticity or otherwise of the document that was submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission. So that, my friend, is the smoking gun that Atiku was looking for. And he is going to now file those documents with the Supreme Court on Thursday, October 5th. So with that, it has become a settled issue. Forget about the other matters in this particular issue. The issue of whether he attended Government College, Lagos or not, whether it was a male or female, whether the Southwest College, the certificate there was authentic or not, whether the GCE he used in entering the Southwest College was authentic or not. The most important thing that took Atiku Abubakar to the United States was to authenticate the result that was submitted to INEC, or the certificate that was submitted to INEC by Tinubu, and he has gotten what he was looking for under oath. Those who are denying that Atiku didn't get something like that, at the end of the day, the Supreme Court is there. We are going to see what Atiku Abubakar will tender there. We are going to see whether it is the same thing that he was given, that was deposited as Tinubu's submitted certificate to INEC. So the other issue about this matter has become a kind of media, has become a kind of media war going on. But the truth of the matter remains that Atiku did not come back empty-handed. And all those Festus Keyamo and all those who are trying to whittle down the impact of what Atiku did, they're just wasting their time, because as far as Atiku is concerned, as far as the lawyers are concerned, they have a deposition from Chicago State University denying knowledge of that certificate that was submitted to INEC, denying knowledge of any application for replacement of lost academic certificate from Tinubu. So he didn't apply, therefore they didn't issue. If you didn't apply for replacement of lost certificate and they didn't issue it, then how do you, what else do you want them to do? To say, to confirm to you that they denied and they rejected knowledge of what was submitted to INEC. That is a simple, logical thing to do, to try to understand. So it is clear. The rest is now left for the Supreme Court to determine whether it is going to accept it or not, which is a topic for another day. So what it means is that by this development, which is that Chicago State University registrar, in a deposition under oath, said they didn't know anything about the certificates that Tinubu submitted to INEC. And in the case of Agi versus PDP, the Supreme Court had defined forgery as bringing or presenting or attaching or submitting a document not made by the agency which is purported to have made such a document. In this case, the document in INEC was purported to have come from Chicago State University. Now, Chicago State University say they don't know where it come from. It didn't come from them. Now, if you look at Section 134 of the Electoral Act 2022, Section 1341, an election may be questioned on any of the following grounds. A person whose election is questioned was at the time of the election not qualified to participate in the election. That is one of the grounds that Atiku Abubakar and his legal team are using to seek for Tinubu's disqualification. And also, it was also expressly expressed in Section 137, 1J of the 1999 Constitution as amended, that any candidate who submitted forged document to the Independent National Electoral Commission, his election is invalidated by that action. The rest is now left for the court to decide. But make no mistake about it, Atiku Abubakar did not come back empty-handed. He came back with a deposition from Chicago State University registrar on the issue of where did Tinubu get the certificate he submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission. So the rest are now issue of media propaganda and media misinformation going on. But as far as this matter is concerned, Atiku Abubakar and his lawyers, they have a deposition from Chicago State University on this matter. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.